If you missed our first segment, I detailed how after a difficult time for us, a lot of furniture was moved out to put in new flooring because of the incident on New Year's Eve with the dishwasher where water went everywhere and destroyed the floors. The move back in day is today, so movers come back and move things out of the mobile devices in the driveway into the house.
How many movers do you think it'll take to do this?
Last time
2,
it was
3?
Well, it's 3 to move it out, so I'm thinking the same thing. It's just the house a mess, because there's boxes everywhere.
Sure.
It's like a move, almost. It's very similar to
Just
that.
a little shorter distance.
So my plan is to hole up here with Biggie and do some work. I just laid it on him. He was so excited.
Is this a door closed day in the office?
Yeah, it's just going to be the two of us. What do we call it? We're
Going to the mattresses?
Yeah, we're going to be locked in. We're locked in.
You spelled that wrong.
That's right.
You spelled that wrong, too.
You spelled that wrong.
You used two wrong.
You don't need, an apostrophe doesn't go there.
That's the wrong there. That should be me, not I.
Yes, we're doing that all day to get this thing right. And then, you know what Biggie tells me?
What?
He gets a text from my wife. I didn't even get it. He
went through.
Yeah.
The wife went through Biggie?
Went through Biggie and says, don't worry, I've got him scheduled for a Walmart pickup by noon, so he can't stay all day. That's what she does.
With a smiling emoji.
Does all that stuff. So now I got to go home, be in the middle of this move, and stop at Walmart to pick stuff up. This is the one
This
where
changes everything.
Yeah, this is last time I had to rush home to be there while the movers are. She had to go. She had to go to work. So I had to rush home immediately post show. This was when I was watching Three's Company. Remember that when I got
Yes.
I sat down. Now I'm normally not home at that time, and so I sat down and Three's Company's on, and I start watching a few episodes. One of them I really got.
Did I ask if this was the Roper era or the Furley era?
Furley
okay.
era. And one of them I really got into. In fact, it wasn't even Suzanne Summers wasn't even on.
Okay, she was long gone.
But it was an episode, this is from 42 years ago, and I'm watching it, and the mover comes into the room and says, "Can you sign some paperwork?" And I said, "Shh."
Should you be up here?
I want to.
Jack's on 2 dates at once.
I need to hear this. I told him I'm going to need a minute to finish this episode. I just told him, look, this is my entertainment time.
Are we tipping movers?
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I didn't tip
those hands. Look at the body language, Biggie.
I've never heard anything like that. I didn't tip the movers.
Oh, really?
No, God.
And did you buy him lunch?
No.
Did you offer him some Gatorades?
No. Boy, they're moody.
But they got a file on you.
These guys are moody. There's 3 different guys coming today. Different names.
Yeah, the
I was
newbies.
I was always told you kind of do one or the other.
Buy them lunch.
Yeah, like if you you go say, "Hey guys, lunch is on me," because they normally work in the middle of the day, take a lunch break.
Yes.
Or you say, "Hey, let's all order some pizza. I'll pay for it. By the way, here's some Gatorades, some drinks." Or at the end, you say, "Hey, thanks for all your help. Here's a little something. Dinner's on me."
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I never heard that at all. I bought them lunch.
Where do you live?
Where do I live?
In what world?
I never heard that. This time around, these movers were very good. This is 3 or 4 hours moving stuff. It's just moving driveway back in, out to the driveway. The last time I actually moved, I didn't think the movers did a very good job. I did buy them lunch because it was a long day. It was like from 8 a.m. to, what happened for us last time when we moved? My wife had gone through painstakingly and put on each box, this goes from this room,
Child's bedroom, den,
yes,
office.
And they didn't do any of that. They just came in and put it down. And so later, 2 days later, here I am with a heavy box that I'm
removing boxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that.
If you were to ask the average American adult, who may have moved a few times, apartments, houses, what have you.
Yeah.
What's the percentage you would say the move went smoothly?
Very few.
Single digits?
I think
10%?
So. I think
15?
So. I've moved. This one went very smooth. This is not a move, but they really did a nice job, actually, last time around. Seriously.
They just carried stuff to like a storage pod?
In the driveway.
Yeah.
And so now they're moving it back in today. Every move, I've moved 4 or 5 times, and one of them went really well. The rest of them have been very difficult.
I've moved. We moved a lot when I was a kid, but I'd say the last couple moves I've had, because I've used the same company and they're great. Those have been the smoothest by far.
Is that the one you recommended to me?
Yes, I believe so.
Terrible.
I don't know which one that was though.
I don't either. One of them. It was your recommendation.
We'll speak off air.
Here's another thing. They told me, they said, here's the estimate of how much the move's going to be. And I said, great. And then that day, they got several hours into it. And they said, we're going to have to up that by a good bit because we're going to have to bring some more guys in. And I was like, well,
and what's the point of doing that?
Why do the estimate then? You know, it's like, how can you be that off? That really ticked me off.
There's a name in my, you know how sometimes you have a list of phone contacts?
Yes.
Sometimes I'll just be scrolling through there and just to look for somebody. And there's one name that pops out. It's like, I don't know this person. And when I tap on it, it's the moving company who moved us like 2 houses ago. He was that bad, and I'm going to remember how bad he is. I never want to forget. It's burned into my retinas.
Yes.
And every 6 months, I'll go, oh, yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Well, I had 2 recommended, and they both came in and gave estimates and were within $20 of each other. And I just flipped a coin and went with one. And now I wonder if I'd gone with the other, would it have been a much smoother experience? Was that really, like, it was getting late. And he's like, well, if you want us to finish, we're going to have to get more guys. It's like, well.
Yes, I want you to finish.
Yeah.
Of course I want you to finish. You know, so why do the estimate? Like what you just said, it's like your estimate should be what I'm paying, you know, within a few dollars.
I mean, and we moved way before the pandemic, so you would think that they'd be able to hire willing workers. I don't know what it is like now.
I don't either.
Now the economy has changed.
Well, and it was smack in the middle of the pandemic. It was September of 20.
That's right.
And there were 8 movers, and none of them wore masks. And that was during where you had to wear a mask.
Is that when you got it?
Yeah, that's when I got it.
I thought so.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
That's when I got it.
Hey, boss, we're finished.
Yeah.
And we left you a little something.
So they gave me a little tip, actually. Yeah, didn't they? Jay, you're talking about moving now. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey guys, P1 out of Winston.
Thank you.
I was a mover for 20 years with the big orange trucks, and the ones that didn't tip, that's how you get a piece of furniture slid by accident, or a box dropped, or maybe a footstep from the outside yard on the carpet.
Yeah, I know.
I would tip them, at least give them a drink.
Yeah. I seriously,
that's fair.
I bought them lunch.
That's the minimum. Yeah.
When they did it last time. But this time, I was there when they left. My wife was there when they got there. I was there when they left, and I didn't even think about it.
Our last move took so long. I bought them lunch
and dinner. I've done that too.
I kind of remember that.
I've done that too. One of them took. Well, now I tried to
have a lot of stuff.
One of them I tried to do on the cheap. Okay, they weren't really movers.
Was this the father-son combo?
Yeah, and they were guys who had been they had done moving in the past.
They owned a truck.
And a friend of mine said they'll do it for you for like $500, which was cheap.
Yeah,
and they came in and looked around and said, "Yeah, we can do it for $500." Well, they started at 6 a.m. and got done at midnight. I mean, it took 4. I thought. It was probably the most tired I've ever been.
Was this the truck that got lost in the parade?
Yeah. There was a parade going on.
It's like a scene out of a movie.
Yep. And it took them hours to get from one house to the other, which was 15 minutes away. I said, what? They said, yeah, we got in a parade, man.
It's homecoming, apparently.
That's what it was. It was homecoming.
I'll tell you.
Awful. I did most of the work. I mean, it was brutal.
This is unbelievable. Once again, I can reference an all-time classic movie, Funny Farm.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Get caught up in the parade.
If you recall, the movers could not find the house.
Yes.
And it became like an overnight thing.
Yep.
And it took them, they were lost.
Yep.
They almost died in a bridge.
Yes.
Yep. The movers trying to get from the city to the new farmhouse.
Correct.
And they basically just trashed their stuff too, taking it off the truck.
Exactly. That's right. A funny farm.
Chevy Chase keeps on giving.
That movie can be, that movie is life.
You reference it way more than most.
Way more.
I'd say you do.
If you haven't seen Funny Farm, classic.
That's one of your least requested.
Another bad reco from Biggie.
This is okay. And one of Chris Demm's least requested impressions, Liev Schreiber. You probably don't even know who he is. He was in Scream. He's been in a lot of
solid actor, though.
Very good actor. I like him a lot. He does voiceover, and he sounds completely different in voiceover to me than he does when he's acting.
There's tons of great voiceover work. He's like the voice of real Hard Knocks.
That's right. He is 55. He's announced he's having a child with his girlfriend, who's 24 years his junior. She's 31. They're having their first child together. he has 2 other children from a previous relationship.
This relationship is raising eyebrows.
There it is. There is the request. There's the impression that's out the
Stay
heart.
at once what it wants.
Danny, you're talking about moving. Go ahead.
Yeah, I moved for 15 years, and we would always do a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the job, if we didn't get a tip, my partner would go inside and give them an upper decker.
Yeah, that's one
Dang.
too. Upper decker. I
Haven't heard that in a while.
When I learned what that was, I was amazed by it. It's when you defecate
In the commode,
Yeah.
but not the bowl.
the tank. And it just sits in your tank without your knowledge for months on end because you're like, what is that smell?
It smells like poo, and you keep flushing.
Right, but it just rises and falls. That's all it is. An upper decker. Yeah, okay. I'm going to tell the wife. I guess I'll be home, it sounds like.
Break off a 5.
Yeah, break them off a little something.
If not, check the toilets.
Thank you, Danny. That's true. That's a good point. God, the upper decker. Or, like he said, a piece of drop furniture. And I can't drop anything on this floor. I'm drilling in my wife's head. Get those felt pads on the chairs.
Oh, yeah.
Because the floors are new.
Are you a shoe-off household?
Now we are. I just told my son, like, get your shoe. You're nasty. He's all nasty.
But his socks are nasty, too, right?
socks
But
are-
I guess it's better than shoes.
Exactly. But socks, I don't know how he does it. My son's socks are the nastiest you'll find, period.